We need to fix the three blemishes of Amunah. Number one, he's called the tall man. Number two, he's called the short man. Number three, it's called embarrassment. So let's see how these three things that we need to fix. Number one, the tall man. Why is he someone we have to fix?
His brain and his heart are far.
Very good. So Rav Nachman says most very tall people are not very smart. Why does he say that? How tall are you? I'm just kidding. You're not tall enough.
6'2" backwards.
You missed it. You're in the.
Look at the guy.
So Rav Kramer says that when Rav Nachman was speaking about very tall people, he thinks he was speaking about giants, like mamish, like 8-footers, like who's the guy from the Houston Rockets, like Yao Ming. Like very, very tall people.
I think he actually has a brain problem.
Okay, I think he actually has a brain problem. What?
No, tall people do have some sort of, like, they have big time health.
Okay, that's another thing. But anyway, just
tall, like 6'7".
Yeah, so very simply.
7'6".
Yes, I understand. So we're gonna have to deal with that problem. But I guess he means even taller.
7'5".
I know, they're the giants.
Giants, okay. So Rav Kramer thinks he's speaking about giants. Whatever.
6'7", is that an easy height?
Okay, guys. Again, everybody focus. Can you help me on the side?
Orange juice and applesauce. Relax.
Guys, come back. We only have 20 minutes left. Please focus.
Define the bone.
Please focus. The tall man, his issue is, according to Rav Nachman, his mind and his heart are far apart.
Literally, even on a physical.
Literally, on a physical level. Meaning, his heart, so to speak, Rav Nachman says spiritually, the way it works is that when you have thoughts, there is, so to speak, something that arises and arouses and lifts from your heart and enters your mind. Okay? Spiritually, it has to do with Bina and Chokhmah, which is the heart and the mind. It's not for now. But in your body, for a tall person, they're far apart. So Rav Nachman says that what happens is the vapor that comes from the heart, it diminishes because of the long distance it takes to get to the mind. So by the time it gets to the mind, the thoughts that come out are not so clear. This is what Rav Nachman says, okay? What does it mean for us? It means a person who believes in many things. This is one of the three big pagams of Amunah. I believe in Hashem. I come to pray 3 times a day, right? I come, I learn Likutey Moharan. I pray to do it. Yet, I do believe that my boss is in control of my occupational future. I do believe that my owner is in control of my parnasa. I do believe that this doctor is in control of my healing. This is called many beliefs. This is a big pagam in Amunah. And Rav Nachman says this can only be fixed through tefillah. This is called many beliefs. This is called the tall man. Yeah, you have the tall man inside of you. You rectify him through tefillah. Do any of you guys have an issue with this? We can all be honest. Does anybody believe in Hashem, but they also believe that people have a koach to do something?
I don't believe that.
You don't believe that. You're above that. You never tried to suck up to anybody who had money for you in a business deal because you thought that he had your... No, never happened.
Ever since I started learning Derech Hashem,
Okay, very good. But you see, it's natural to think such a thing, right?
But it comes naturally sometimes, but then you catch yourself, you're like, yo, what am I doing? You know, like, everything's that shit.
Okay, all of us have this to some extent. Everybody believes in the tall man to some extent. Yes.
It is.
Yes.
What if that? You're saying if you suck up to that person, you believe.
Nobody likes to suck up.
If you spend time trying to look a certain way or to say a certain thing in order to procure a certain amount of money from somebody, it means you don't think that Hashem is the cause of that money.
What about like haggling in business also? No?
Also no.
And that's what it means when Hashem is going to ask you, were you doing your business honestly? What does that mean? Did you believe that it was you who was making the money or I was giving the money?
Nice
that's what it is.
You don't haggle in business? What if it's just part of the business?
You have to. You have to ask yourself. That's why you do the.
No, but it might start looking like open miracles.
Abraham, listen to me.
Why not? What is that?
Listen, you have to be honest with yourself. When you look at yourself in the mirror and say to myself, did I haggle because I need to for my job? Or did I haggle because I think I needed to in order to get that business deal?
Rabbi.
Good.
Rabbi.
Set. Okay, good.
Rabbi, what if you feel that
Yes, you have a tall man inside of you. Work on it. Next
what
one.
If you feel like someone is screwing you over with money?
Tall man.
You should still believe that that's what you deserve.
100%.
Is that the same
What?
as
Because Hashem did it for him. He was the shliach for him. He's still going to get punished for it, this guy.
Is that the
Because he
same
deserved
concept
to
of
be in that
Moharan
position to do this for you because you deserved it as
Connected.
well. You
But
understand how it
whatever.
works?
Okay.
So you're gonna let
Okay.
everybody
Listen, there's different factors.
Let it through, bro. I'm telling you.
The guy who steals your money,
Lose at the end of that.
the guy who steals your money is judged for it because he did it of his free will.
If it's a goy, not a goy.
Again, yes, regardless. Okay. But Hashem for sure wanted your money to be stolen, and he used the guy who wanted to steal your money to do it.
Okay, let's say you can prevent
Okay,
that.
wait,
Can't prevent it.
You can't prevent it.
wait,
Because it's going to happen another way then.
wait.
But it's not the principle that.
Take it easy. Again, listen to what I'm telling you. He's going to use somebody who wants to steal your money to steal your money. So for sure this person chose to, but he couldn't have done it unless Hashem also wanted it. So your main thing is to think to yourself after the money is stolen, okay, so you do your little hishtadlut, right? You call the police, you say this guy's stolen money. That's it. Am I sitting there crying over it, this guy, and I'm making it my business my whole life to get revenge? No, because it's from Hashem.
Ah, you fight for it.
No, how much do you have to fight for?
Oh, it's such BS to fight for it, I'm telling you.
You might end up with you might end up with a lawyer for years trying to get this guy. You spend millions of dollars. You only stole $10 from him, but you're not letting it go.
Sounds like traffic tickets, parking tickets.
Whatever it is. Okay, good. This is the tall man inside of you. We'll all work on the tall man inside of us. Okay. Now we have the short man. Who's the short man? His mind is close to his heart. So the opposite is true now. The small guy is smart. He's very smart. Too smart. He is the philosopher that's inside of you. We also have to fix him. Why? Because the philosopher thinks that he understands how things work, so he becomes manipulative with his intelligence. What is that? It's a lack of simplicity. You have to fix this part of you as well, because this is also getting in the way of your emunah. Right? If I do things this way, and I'm like this, and all the more so like this, so this is a pagam in your emunah. This is the small man inside of you. What is the last one? What?
So this one applies to us since we're not giants?
No, they all apply to you.
They're very spiritual.
Is it just
You have a spiritual tall man. You have a spiritual short man. And then you have the last one. The final one, which is the highest of the blemishes, which is the most subtle, which will probably come after you fix the first two, which is called embarrassment. The sound of embarrassment, meaning people will be constantly embarrassing you. Yeah? People will be mocking you. People will be making you feel uncomfortable. People will be judging you to your face. What's the reason for this? So we're going to find out in a moment. But these are the three sounds that we have to fix. These are three pagams in Amunah. We're going to find out how the last one has to do with the pagam in Amunah. Okay? Everybody with me? This is what we got up to. So now,
the concept. So he gets embarrassed?
you're going to see. There's a concept of you have to be embarrassed, and what do you do with it?
Oh, okay, that is.
Okay, so we're going to find out. You ready? Va'ayadei tefilat betikuno.
Feel is the tikkun for all of them?
Oh wait, sorry, I missed something. Okay. V'chol zeh shetzarich habipalel leteken b'tefilato. The person who's praying, he needs to fix all these three sounds. Right? You with me? What the three sounds are? You got them? La'alot et hanoflim. Those that have fallen be'emunat kazbi'im, they've fallen into foolish emunah. What's foolish emunah? Meaning they believe in many things. They don't just believe that Hashem is in control. They also believe that this guy is in control, or this situation is controlled. This isn't going to work unless this. I need this guy's help. I need this doctor's help. I need this lawyer's help. Right? He mamish has a stake in this. That's called the pagam in your emunah. This can only be lifted up through tefillah. Right? So if you notice, when I asked you guys, do any of you guys feel that people have some degree of control in your life? It's not all Hashem, which is a normal thing to feel.
That's not true though.
Yes, it is.
So you're saying
It's a natural.
no, it's a natural thing to feel, but it doesn't make it true though.
Right, I didn't say it was true. So it's a natural thing to feel. So how do you fix this natural thing which is not true? Through Hibbodah. So if you're saying to yourself, I don't want to believe in anything besides you, Hashem, I just want to believe in you, I don't want to believe I need to chase this guy for money, I don't want to believe I need to I don't want to believe I need to convince my wife to keep this mitzvah, I can pray to you, Hashem, and she's going to take it on herself. Right? You can only get that through tefillah. Only through tefillah.
Yeah.
Okay, yofi. And if you don't believe that, pagam amuna, and you need to pray for it. B'likbola b'libam emuna shlema. And then you're going to establish in your heart emuna shlema. That's the first one. What about the second voice? L'taken et lev hamchakurim hachmei philoshya. You need to rectify the philosopher inside of you.
That's what he says?
Yeah.
Safe?
Whatever, it doesn't matter. Sheyuchal libam, that you need your heart, lahakil et sichlam, to be able to hold your mind. Remember we said before, what's the reason that you're learning Torah and yet you're still getting angry and you're still lacking patience and you're still becoming sad and you're still going into despair? Yeah, but I'm learning from Rav Nachman not to do that, and he's teaching me the reasons why it's good for me. So why am I still going into these things?
In action.
Because you don't have enough action.
No heart.
No heart.
Just intellect.
Just intellect. So you need to work on fixing your heart. That's called killing the philosopher inside of you. How do you do that? Through physical action, through masim tovim, through action, through mitzvot. And what is the principle? Maaseh tova. What is the principle? Good deed. Hibodadu, tefillah. So you fix this also through hibodadu. And then we have the last one. And now we're going to find out, and listen to this, it's unbelievable. Why is it that embarrassment and vilification is good for you? Why is this something you need to rectify in order to have a complete emunah? Listen to what he says. He must transform all of the times that he's embarrassed and vilified and shamed. And he needs to transform it to honor. Because when man stands in the Heichal of Hashem, of the king, what's the Heichal?
Sanctuary.
The sanctuary, he's standing in the chamber of Hashem, right? Uvatel et atzmo mikol v'chol, and he has completely nullified himself, because that's the only way to stand in that Heichal, into that chamber. You can only stand with Hashem when you're not there. When you have completely nullified your ego. Ve'ein ra'eh shum davar, and you don't see anything at all. Ela et melech ra'eh, you only see the king. You understand what we're saying?
And humiliation is the best way to get there?
Bevadai kesheshomeh ezehu cherpa uvizuihu. For sure, when you hear embarrassment from others, somebody's shaming you, someone's embarrassing you, somebody's making fun of you to your face. Hu mefaresh et hacherpa uvizui lefaresh shel kavod hamelech. You're going to find a way to transform that embarrassment that he's really saying kavod of Hashem.
Wow, that's why Rav Nachman had a lot of this not.
So we're going to have to see what that means in a second.
Elevating.
Ki eich lechafaresh lavo echal letoch echal hamelech. Because how could anyone enter the chamber of Hashem v'yavezet hamelech and shame Hashem? Nobody's going to do that. Everybody hear what he's saying? He's saying a very deep thing. If really everywhere is God, so really everywhere is the Heichal Hashem, and the only person who gets to experience that is the one who has removed his ego. So for sure, if somebody's embarrassing you, but you don't exist, so he can't be embarrassing you. So who is he embarrassing? Hashem. But he can't be embarrassing Hashem, because if you're in the Eichel of Hashem, nobody tries to embarrass Hashem when he sees Hashem. So he must be lifting Hashem up.
What?
Again, so this is going to be your job. We're going to find an example in a second.
Meaning he's lifting you up through the embarrassment.
Yes.
You're not-
Wait, so by betooling yourself, by nullifying yourself, two people embarrassing you, let them their embarrassment rather be something that lifts up Hashem.
Yeah,
And you help them.
there you
And
go.
yourself.
There you
Lift
go.
up Hashem.
Again, because you're going to see like this. What is the kavod of Hashem? The kavod of Hashem is only revealed when you don't.
What?
Again, let's say for instance we hang out. For 30 minutes I speak the whole time. How much do I get to know you in those 30 minutes? Zero. Let's say for 15 minutes I don't speak. I let you speak. How much do I get to know you for? Let's say I go in there and it's mamish like I don't exist. So how long do I get to know you for? 30 minutes. Meaning the degree to which I can know you depends on the degree to which I nullify myself. You understand that? Okay. The degree to which we nullify ourselves, to that degree Hashem exists in our life as well.
Right. Okay, but I don't understand how that.
Okay, so 1 second. Why is this person making fun of you? It's not because he just happened to think that suit was whack. Right? It's because Hashem is trying to help you engage in bitul.
So bring it on.
So he's bringing out God because he's doing his work.
Yes. Okay. So this person is embarrassing you, and if you don't look for the good in it, then this guy is hurting me, right? And I have to do something about it. But if this guy is doing me the biggest favor because he's rectifying my amuna, because I'm getting offended. Why? Because I still have a sense of self that hasn't been diminished yet. Because otherwise, how can I get offended? I can only get offended if I exist. But if I don't exist, what would I get offended about?
Wow, that's what she tells us to get it in.
But are we not supposed to be like Israelites with complete bitul?
So we're betul. No, so we're betul to the truth. And that part of you that's still there is really you anyway. You're not nullifying you, you're nullifying the evil inside you, which is your ego. Yes, your ego is supposed to be completely
into nothing, or we're able to.
Can I say something?
So 1 second before we get there.
Very patient, I like that.
Ela b'vadai, rather, adraba. On the other hand, no, not like that. When you get embarrassed, Ela diburim heim diburi kavod. These are words of kavod to Hashem. Umiponen ba'diburim, and he's going to contemplate these words. Ech lefarish l'tarefotam. He's going to figure out how to explain them, how to mafarish them, how to come with a chidush. Yitavu mehem kavod lamelech. How they're really the kavod of Hashem. The highest level of amuna. So I'm going to explain to you now. When do you know you've reached complete amuna? When a person can embarrass you to your face and you don't feel any embarrassment whatsoever. Here, this is the highest level of amuna.
It's the highest it gets.
It's the highest it gets.
Guys, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah. That you can get humiliated and you mamish don't feel anything.
Not that you react better.
No, not that you react
actually
better.
don't
You mamish don't feel. Why? Because you have no sense of ego anymore. You have no sense of
So you
self.
can't even laugh? Like when someone embarrasses you?
Yeah, so that's coming from I need to like fix this situation.
Really?
Make
Can you
it,
laugh?
That's just a coping mechanism.
It's a coping mechanism.
There has been times
Wait,
it's just funny.
let's finish. That funny is you're hurt and this is called Freudian defense mechanism. Okay, listen to what he says now. Ve'ein lachshov, he should not think to himself. Shama ela harafot alav nemarim, that perhaps these are really just people who are embarrassing him. Don't think that, Rav Nachman says. Ze'eno, it's not true. Ki mihu, because who are you? You're nobody. No, listen to what he's saying. It's mamish amazing. He says it can't be that somebody's making fun of you. Because if you are really close to Hashem, then you don't exist anymore. So he can't be making fun of you. There is no you.
There's nothing to make fun of.
Hello Yeshuto mi patel. Because if you've really nullified yourself completely, ve'ein kan ela melech ba'atzmo, there's nothing besides Hashem for you anyway. He can't be making fun of you.
So who is making fun of Hashem?
Yes, but then we're going to say he can't really be making fun of Hashem. So it must be to reveal the godliness. So how can it be to reveal the godliness?
It's the negligence.
No, but that's Hashem, because by him,
No, I'm saying it's the negligence
embarrassing
of
you, you're not getting
indirectly embarrassing
embarrassed.
really
The
Hashem.
kavod of
That
Hashem.
reveals.
How can a person get embarrassed and not
But we
do
see the reaction of a tzaddik when he sees the kavod of Hashem.
Yeah.
So it must be.
Listen, so
But still,
listen.
there's a
You
repercussion
guys missed
still.
it. You guys
Who
missed
cares
the
about the
entire thing.
repercussion? That's not your ishtabish.
No. What he just said was a good point. He just said that is that if a person, let's say, Reuven embarrasses Shimon.
Okay.
Shimon doesn't feel
Nothing because he
nothing.
doesn't think he exists.
Why? Because he's over
He's-
Hashem.
he's
So
bit to
technically,
Hashem.
Reuven is really in reality making fun of Hashem.
But he couldn't
how could
be.
he be making fun of Hashem?
He can't be.
Why? Because Hashem is the one who told Reuven to make fun of Shimon. Right?
Okay, but Rav Nachman comes out
Isn't that what
saying,
you just said?
Listen, but Rav Nachman says he can't really be making fun of Hashem. He's only making fun of
But
you.
isn't Hashem already in
One
the first
second.
place telling
But
Reuven
you
that
don't.
thought?
I get it, but you don't exist.
It's a paradox.
No. So in the end, what's really happening is this whole situation is to lift up the kavod of Hashem. But the kavod of Hashem can only be lifted up when your kavod goes down. As long as your kavod is up, Hashem's kavod is down.
What about the machshava that came into
So he's saying, that's what
Reuven?
he's saying. He's literally saying that. How are you lifting up Hashem? Why? Because you're nullifying yourself, right? When you nullify yourself, you're lifting up Hashem, and that's because he sent Reuven to go and embarrass Shimon. So both of you are doing Avodat Hashem right now.
Meaning, he's sending somebody to embarrass me right now. Why? Because right now, I exist. You're going to notice that when somebody embarrasses you, it's because at that moment you feel that you exist. So Hashem sends somebody to embarrass you. And it's great. It's gavaldic. Why? Because you don't want to feel like that, because that's the cause of all your issues. That you think that you have a separate existence in and of itself, and you don't. It's not true. Everything is interconnected. Everybody's a part of Hashem, and you lose track of that, and that's called exile. So you're in exile.
They say you have no sins, you should get a bracha if somebody embarrasses you.
Yes, because
you react. Why? Because if you don't react,
You're breaking your nature.
then it's as
Bittul.
if you have nothing. So how can you? You're just one with Hashem.
Yes,
Then
that's
how
what
can you have any sins?
That's right.
Which means you can bless you.
That's right, and that's what we learned in the previous Torah. What do we
You're an
say?
empty vessel.
Why do you want to do bitul?
Bittul yourself.
Why do you want to do bitul before you go pray? Why do you want to do bodedut before you go pray? Because you can only get bitul through your bodedut. And then once you pray with bitul, that you don't exist,
Why?
then you get your prayers answered.
Why is it you could think this in your head that doesn't actually happen?
Because you're not doing your bodedut.
Yes,
That's the only
It
reason.
doesn't happen immediately. You work up to this point. You get rid of the
You have
tall
to
man,
take
the
it from
short
the world
man,
of
and
potential.
then you get to embarrassment.
You have to do it, but you have to pray every day to Hashem. Hashem, I want it to be that when people embarrass me, I feel what I think.
Serious concept, actually.
Serious.
Well, no, it's because it actually says it because all the people that learn halacha know this. It says it like if somebody embarrasses you, like mamish embarrasses you, and you don't react to it, you go to him and get a blessing from him because he's a big.
He just said it.
Exactly.
Yes.
So why is he a big tzaddik? It's because he did not take the embarrassment.
Because when you nullify
Because he's one with
yourself,
Hashem, and Hashem doesn't have many averos.
when you nullify yourself, you don't
You
feel
literally
embarrassment,
said the
you're
same
an empty
exact
vessel.
I'm repeating what
I'm
this
just
guy
trying to
said.
embarrass you so we can get a blessing. You didn't go with it though. Come on, I'm trying to help you
I
out.
wasn't embarrassed.
No, it's a very big sin to embarrass somebody.
How
It's
can I get
mamish like you
embarrassed
kill
in front of
them.
tzaddikim?
Let Hashem work through the shmatas to do it for you. But you shouldn't be embarrassing anybody. Okay, now listen to what he says. So he's not going to presume it comes from
what
him.
about the concept
One
of
second.
Reuben? What happens to
Wait,
him,
forget
though?
about Reuben and Shimon for a second.
I still don't get that.
Okay,
though.
wait. Listen, wait. Now, very interestingly, the Bi'ebi Hanachal. He is a commentary on Likutey Moharan. Listen to what he says. He says something amazing. You'll notice, Benny. You'll notice we want to try and arouse the three avot. Right? That's what's going to bring an end to all of our enemies.
Oh yeah, we never got to this.
Right, so we never connected them. So he's going to connect it back to the beginning. How are these three sounds, which are pagams in our Amunah, connected to the three avot? So we learn in Chazal, they call Abraham the tallest amongst the giants. Meaning, he fixed the tall man. What did Abraham do? He mechadesh that there's only one God. They believed in many gods, and Abraham taught the world that there was one God.
Also, they're all very tall. I don't know.
Okay, forget about the tall for a second. You guys are too hung up on this. Just wait 1 second. Again, listen to what I'm telling you. The concept of tallness means you believe in many gods. Abraham came and he said there's only one God. Don't believe in the intermediary. Just believe in Hashem. So he fixes the first one. What about the short man who's the philosopher? So what does the philosopher do? You ever see a philosopher? Tzchok. He laughs at Hashem. He thinks it's a joke. Yitzchak. He brings holy laughter and he fixes him. Yitzchak.
And how does he do that? Through the field.
The field. Okay, through Hippodadu. And what's the last one? Yaakov. And in a pasuk in Tanakh, he's called Toalat Yaakov, the worm called Yaakov. Why? Because the worm is the one who's vilified. He's the one who's hated his whole life. He's embarrassed by everybody, but he's nullified. He nullifies himself. So we see that the three avot, it's through their koach that we're able to rectify these three blemishes of Amunah. It's beautiful. You hear what he's saying? This is the meaning of the pasuk. Listen to this. This is very deep. Uvechalo kulo amer kavod. Right? We say this every Shabbat. Tehillim 29. Uvechalo kulo amer kavod. And in his chamber, everybody says kavod. Meaning, Rav Nachman says, don't read it. Everybody who happens to be in the chamber, they all happen to be exclaiming the glory of Hashem. No, meaning, if you're in the Heichal Hashem, everything can only say kavod to Hashem. Yeah? Uvechalo kulo omer kavod. When somebody embarrasses you, if you're in Hashem's heichal, omer kavod, he can only be saying kavod. It's impossible that he could be embarrassing you. You understand? It's very deep. And we need to say this before we go into Shabbat, because this rectifies Emunah. That's Shabbat. Wait, we're finishing up the piece. Kol Amirot. And all declarations, they are combined so that it becomes his kavod. Now listen to this and then we'll end, and I don't know if we're going to have time for questions, but 1 second. What do we say before we pray? Hashem, adnut sifatai tiftach. Yes, let my lips... Okay. So what is the first 3 letters? Aleph, Shin, Taf. Ashit.
That's why I have to pray with now.
What is the gematria of adnut?
301.
You completely messed that up. Get a blessing from it. 65. What is the gematria of Heichal? Heichal. 65. The same exact gematria, Heichal and Adnut. Meaning, what's the first word you say when you come to pray? Heichal. Meaning, I want everything to say kavod. Before I come in here, I want to first rectify these 3 aspects of fallen Amunah, and I want to come pray to you. I want to stand in your Heichal and not think that anybody heard me today. I don't want to think anybody wronged me today. I want to realize everything came from you, Hashem. Everything comes from you. 1 second. And listen to how deep this humility needs to be. Why are we saying Adnut Sepatai Tifsa? So the Be'er Likutey says you should get to such a point of humility that you mamish don't exist, that when you come to pray, you're not able to talk, not because of a blemish, but because how can you speak? How can you speak? You're nothing. Hashem is everything. How do you talk? So that's why we say Adnut Sepatai Tiftach. Hashem, open my lips. Why are you saying open my lips? I'm just going to start speaking. No, you shouldn't be able to start speaking. When you start to pray, when you go 3 steps back and you're entering the Heichal of Hashem, you shouldn't be able to talk. So you have to say, Hashem, open my lips so I can mamish say anything to you right now. To that degree, you have to have humility. So we're seeing that what's the key to Eretz Yisrael? It's humility. And the 3 blemishes are tall man, short man, embarrassment. We need to fix all these, yeah.
You said about the kavod, right?
Yeah.
Dafka in the field, all the greeneries
Comes to pray with
are
you.
doing kavod for Hashem. And maybe that's another reason why we're not going to see all the dog in the field Dafka, because the kavod from the greenery goes, meaning like it helps you find good points, right? It helps you with kavod, and it helps you get closer to Hashem's kavod.
Nice.